Hi. I want to talk about a story in the book of John. In John 5 2 through 4, we read about an enchanted pool in Jerusalem. Around the pool lay a lot of sick people, great multitudes, the text says. Some were blind, some lame, some paralyzed. Many, therefore, couldn't stand up and move about without great difficulty, if at all. Now, occasionally an angel came down to the pool to stir or trouble the water. When that happened, whoever was quick enough to jump into the pool first was healed of his or her disease or deformity. Blind and lame people naturally found it hard to be the first to enter the water. If a person was blind, he couldn't see when the pool had been troubled or easily find his way into it. If he was lame, someone with leprosy most likely beat him into the pool. And if he was paralyzed, he was probably just out of luck. And sure enough, according to verses 5 through 14, one day Jesus came upon such a man. He had been sick for 38 years and could never manage to be the winner because he had nobody to place him into the water when it was stirred. So Jesus healed him. We might read this story and think, oh, how nice of Jesus. But was it? Great multitudes lay around that pool. And Jesus could have spoken a word and everyone could have been made well. Or Yahweh could have created the pool so that all who ever stepped into it or were splashed by the water in it regained their health. Yet we get excited about one miraculous healing. So let's imagine this scenario in a little different way. I think it'll point out just how troubling the whole story is. Think about this. A billionaire decides he wants to help some sick people. Unlike Yahweh, he can't alleviate everybody's infirmities. As I said, Yahweh could, but he doesn't want to. In fact, he's the one who formed people in the womb, blind and deaf and crippled in the first place. But back to the billionaire. The billionaire puts a big pool in his front yard and allows all the sick people in the city to come and lie around it. Occasionally, the billionaire walks out into his yard and stirs up the water. And he says, whichever one of you blind, crippled, or paralyzed people is able to hustle and make your way into the pool first, you will be given enough money to treat your medical condition. First, these are sick people competing against one another, each trying to be healed at the expense of all the others. Because remember, if a mother is healed, then her son or daughter can't be. And if a man is healed, then his wife can't be. Besides that, partially paralyzed people are reduced to crawling on the ground and no doubt being trampled. Blind people are stumbling around and falling down as others bump into them. This anecdote from the Bible, as well as the one I just suggested, presents a horrifying competition. I can only imagine how sad it would be to watch, to see people fighting one another as they clamored to be the one who was lucky enough to be healed. It'd be like seeing a rich king throwing a pizza out into a crowd of hungry people who hadn't eaten in weeks and watching them jostle about and clamber around to see who could catch the pizza and finally get some sustenance. It would be cruel and inhumane, and we wouldn't treat dogs that way. But honestly, it's worse even than the pizza story. We're supposed to be Yahweh's children, right? He's our Father. Visualize a father with plenty of money, billions upon billions, and therefore enough to provide surgeries that would make whole his paralyzed son and cure his daughter's blindness, and buy calamine lotion for his other son's poison ivy. And think about what a sorry excuse for a father the man would be if he told his 3 children that the first one to run and jump into his lap would receive the needed surgery or lotion, while the others would remain paralyzed or blind or itchy. Now, obviously, the itchy boy is getting his calamine lotion, since he can run to his father's lap ahead of his siblings. But the father could have made all of his children healthy. He simply chose not to. There is no goodness or nobility in healing 1 or 2 in order to exhibit power and be praised, when it would be as easy as snapping a finger to heal everybody. And this biblical narrative ought to be troubling to Christians. It's disturbing to think that an all-powerful God, rather than simply reaching down and healing everyone, pitted diseased people against one another, and also made it impossible that the ones in the worst shape could be restored to good health. It's not a sweet account of love and compassion. It's a tale that never should be told to the tender-hearted, as it is painful to envision. It is yet another chronicle of the never-ending madness of the God called Yahweh. But yes, no doubt that one man went away proclaiming God is good all the time, God is good. Great multitudes are suffering, but praise Yahweh, it ain't me. Thank you for watching. Bye.